Welcome to the Arizona Wildcat Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. I'm Star Sports editor Ryan Finley here with Daniel Berk. Daniel, we were talking off camera in terms of sheer enjoyment. I'm not sure me and you enjoyed watching a football player last year as much as we enjoyed watching Tra'Mayne Bondurant, a guy with a nose for a big play, big hitter, doesn't look like much getting off the bus, but was in many ways, along with Scooby Wright, the heart and soul of their defense. He gone now. He gone. Who steps into that role both as their big hitter at his position and as a guy who can lead this team?
Well, it's interesting you ask because I'm writing about that this week. But no, I think the two guys that every coach mentions, Will Parks and Tellis Jones. Those are the two names that keep getting mentioned. And I think Will Parks, that's not a surprise. Right. The guy has made big plays. He was the MVP of the Advocate Bowl a couple years ago, a 69-yard interception return, had a couple picks last year. Tellis Jones is the one, to me, who, you know, probably Arizona fans don't know about, but watching him in practice and watching his athleticism, his speed, he can make those plays that Bondurant made, and they're going to need him to. I mean, Tra'Mayne was just a winning player. You know, he was kind of like Reggie Miller. He made plays at winning time. And I think for Arizona, they need to find someone who has that ability to step up, not just create turnovers, but create turnovers at big spots.
Right. In many ways, I mean, he would will them to win.
Yeah.
He would. I mean, he had the willpower where he won them single-handedly a couple of games.
No question. You talk about the Cal game. He started the comeback there. Interception, recovered an onside kick. You talk about Utah, Washington, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, again, it's not just that he created turnovers. It's when he did it. And so Will Parks and Tellis Jones and Jamar Allah and Paul McGlure, those guys back there, yeah, they can make those plays, but can they make them when the game's on the line? And that's what we're going to find out.
You know, you mentioned Paul McGlure. This is a guy, JC transfer, somebody who comes in pretty highly touted, but it's not just step up and play when you get to Arizona. How has he been adjusting to the first week or so at camp?
Well, I think, again, we were talking about this in a previous video. Had he come a year or two ago, he'd be plugged in right now. But now he needs to fight for the spot. You know, he's the type, you can tell he's a newcomer. One day in practice, he looks really good. They went in full pads earlier this week, and he was great, shedding blockers and doing really well. In the 7-on-7 in the open field, and he's facing those jitterbugs in the slot, he can still struggle. But he's a guy, I mean, physically, he's as impressive as anyone they have in the secondary, and he's a guy that can make an impact. He still has to learn the scheme, still has to learn the system, but the athleticism and the size and the strength and the speed, it's all there. You
know how I can tell that you've spent 2-3 hours a day of football practice the last week or so?
How's that?
You've used the word jitterbugs a couple times in back-to-back shows. Do you refer to helmets now as hats?
Hats.
Put a hat on a hat?
Put a hat on the ball.
Do you use the phrase good on good?
Good on good. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's an Andy Lopezism. But, yeah, we break that out in football, too.
These are great.
Oh, yeah.
These are great. Well, we've got a couple more weeks till Arizona opens. It's 2015 season at home against UTSA.
We're getting there.
Don't call them UT San Antonio.
No.
They are UTSA.
You can just call them the Fighting Larry Cokers. That's what Rich
calls them. And we've got just a couple more weeks. So we have a 72-page football special section. I have the cover sitting behind over there on my desk.
I'm going to will you to that.
And no, you can't see it. That'll do it for this episode of the Arizona Wildcat Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. For Daniel Berk, I'm Ryan Finley. We're good on good here. We'll see you next time.
Try this matchup. Low prices and faster checkout. You can count on it at Fry's.